cannot. Okay, I hadn't seen that yet, Katie.
I wanted to keep that one as a surprise for you.
There is some serious shimmies, pelvic moves going on there.
I think they should try to recreate that.
Wow.
In real life. I think it would be really nice for everyone involved.
Nice work.
Welcome to podcast 15. It's our little holiday edition.
Favorite time.
Thanks for joining us.
One of my favorite podcasts.
Yeah, I love this one every year.
I love this one, and I love the year-end recap one.
Yeah.
You've got ways to go yet.
We have a little ways to go for that one. But
yeah.
Before we start, there's just something that I want to address and just quickly get off my chest. I have it written down because I don't know if I would be able to get it all out otherwise, but so I'm just going to go for it and
take your time, breathe through it, do what you need to do.
Yeah. So, hey everyone, my name is Catherine Rayner and I have a bit of a problem. I think everyone knows that my favorite form of exercise is running my smart mouth. You see, I haven't, Tracy, keep it together. You see, I have this undeniable tendency to assume that I'm absolutely the best at anything a person can challenge me to or allow me to participate in, despite potentially having zero experience in it. And B, not being able to back it up, despite my abundance of confidence. What I'm truly trying to say is my biggest character flaw, and there is many, is obviously my humility. I know I need to work on that starting right now. So to begin, I need to say that Dexter Wiseman is simply better than me at everything. That includes fantasy football, obviously. Despite me thinking that I know football well, putting up stickers on a board does not mean I understand the game. Fantasy baseball is another given. I had endless confidence in drafting a team by myself and just managed to squeak out of last in the last week. That was a lucky day for me. Bowling. Every year, Dexter tries to give me a great example of how to perform at a peak athleticism during our Thursday night league. Sometimes I can pick up great pointers from him, watching him play, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity. And just life in general. Dexter seems to excel at most things. For example, I've never seen him throw up and fart at the same time. I look up to him for this reason. The only thing that Dexter is not better at than I am is slamming back some good old hottie dogs. Boiled, of course. Joey Chestnut ain't got shit on me. Oh no, there I go again. Have to start over on that humility thing. Thanks, everyone. Just really needed to get that off my chest. Hashtag Team Dexter.
Wow, the start of this show is
the press release of the season right there.
Wow. How are you feeling, Katie?
Well, for those of you who are wondering, I lost fantasy football, and it was not a great day to be Katie Rayner. So there's that.
I mean, you came in so confident, like so confident.
I know football.
Like, you know football, like you were confident.
I was. And you know what? This one actually wasn't my fault because I was in second last place and Tim made the league wrong. And in the last week, he squeaked ahead of me. So we shouldn't have even had that week. I should have not finished last and Tim should have been given a speech, which he probably wouldn't have done. So you win some, you lose some.
You owned it. You're owning it.
I'm here for the plot. Can't wait for the next fantasy season. I've been consistently at the bottom for 2 seasons. It's my time to shine.
I have no words for you. I am super proud that one of us has made the playoffs both times.
Yeah, Tracy's been killing fantasy football and fantasy baseball.
It's because I have no life and it's my only outlet.
Yeah, well, there are worse things.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, she's like always making trades and stuff. I'm like, I don't know. Just put the team on the field. It's fine.
We're good.
But clearly it doesn't work. In bowling news, few things that we can kind of recap here. First up, Newfoundland Bowling Tour had their pop-up singles event. So this one is one where 48 players all do a 3-game qualifier. Top 24 go into a bracket system doing 1-game matches, and Megan Gallicano won at Holiday Bowl. So congratulations to you. That's fantastic. And then Manitoba Open. We're a couple weeks behind. Like the boys have already kind of done Manitoba Open, but there was lots of great success for us to touch on. So
let's talk about it.
Yeah. We had 30 individual players with 49 entries, and 7 ladies made the cut. So I was just telling Tracy before we came on, last year we had 13 ladies make a WCBT cut in the whole season at the 5 events, and we already have had 17. So it's only been 3 events. So we're just cruising. 9 ladies averaged over 250, 22 games between 300 and 350, and we had 6 games from ladies shot that were over 350.
I just think we're getting better and better, like at these events.
Yeah.
Like more ladies are turning out, more ladies are starting to make it, the like level of averages. I feel like it would be interesting to see what that stat is, but I think we're just like rising above right now.
Yeah. And like Winnipeg is a prime example of that. Like the Manitoba ladies, they come out. Like there were so many ladies from Manitoba who were there to participate, and like a bunch of them, like Brooke made the cut, Alyssa made the cut. When we have asked some of the people who are more first-time WCBT Cup members to make an appearance tonight with us. We did ask Brooke if she was able to. She has league tonight, so we've been trying to get her on. We might have to save her for like a summer episode when she doesn't have league, but hopefully we'll be able to get her on soon. So
yeah, and she made it. There's lots of moments, right? Still, like once we hit January, we've still got lots of qualifying rounds going on for the Masters, and Open trials are starting to happen, and there's lots of moments.
Yeah. So congratulations to her. She made it to the 4s on the Sunday. So that's fantastic. Akira, Kelsey, Chantel all made their 2nd cut of the season. So there's just lots of great bowling happening at the Manitoba Open.
It's good to see.
Yeah. With that, we could probably bring in our first guest and have a little chat with her. Let's see if I remember where I'm going here. Hello, Amy.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us.
Anytime.
Still trying to compose myself from the intro of this podcast.
Those boys with the shimmies.
Right.
So Amy, you participated in the Winnipeg or the Manitoba Open and qualified 38th with a 257 average. First WCBT cut.
Mm-hmm.
That's exciting.
It is.
And then, so you ended up in the play-in round. So for the Manitoba Open, they do the top 24, I believe. That sounds right. I can't remember now. Yes, make it straight in, and then like the next group play in a play-in round. So you were grouped with Brian Askin, Carrie Snyder, and Mark Johnstone, and won one of the matches with a 700 triple, but didn't quite make it out of that round. But amazing bowling.
Thank you.
How did it feel? Tell us about how that felt. I mean, obviously bowled really, really well.
In qualifying, well, like I've had a bit of a struggle this year so far. So getting into qualifying and starting out like very strong definitely helped me. It helped like boost my confidence for the last little bit. So after the 8 games, it was weird to kind of like sit back and watch everyone else bowl.
Mm.
But yeah, because you one shifted, correct?
Yeah, I just bowled 1 shift.
That's awesome.
Very nice. So you've come out now to 2 WCBT events. Is there more on your radar now?
I have my flights booked to Diamond Ladies.
Awesome.
Nice.
Good.
So I'll be out there for that one.
Great.
But no Regina or Red Deer, at least not this year.
Fair. I mean, it's expensive to come off the island, like in Newfoundland, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is the family coming with you, or are you solo?
Me and Katie Wells are coming up together.
Oh, amazing.
That'll be so good.
Yeah.
So you came out to TPC. It wasn't like the tournament of your life bowling wise. How did that affect your mindset going into like booking flights for another tournament and coming out for another one? Did you kind of have that in the back of your head, or did you let it go?
Well, after TPC, like it was kind of nice to just see it all, like be there and see it all instead of just sitting home watching it on YouTube, I guess. So like getting to compete and be on the lanes with everyone definitely like helped prepare me, I'll say. So that going to TPC definitely did help with that. And then
Right.
I was kind of like, oh, why not go to another one? Flights are
Why not?
cheap. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I love that. So like, what's motivating you to come out here to do this?
Well, I told my parents that ever since I was on the podcast after YBC Nationals last year, and Daryl said, come out west sometime. I was like, oh, so now I'm finally making that happen.
I love that.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's
It's
really,
long overdue, in my opinion, but
well, I love it. So,
And it's a huge commitment, like financially, right? And then just
Mm-hmm.
even the time, like the travel time for you guys, is a little bit more extended. So that's awesome.
yeah. But it's really nice to be able to have the opportunity to get out there and just to compete and see everyone firsthand, and like because it's the best in the country, and I'm still like in the youth for my last year now, so like getting out there while I'm still young, I'll say, is really nice.
yeah, for sure.
What's Amy, what's next for you, like on the youth side right now with the 1 year left?
Well, I'm currently rolling off for the doubles, so I have zones and hopefully provincials coming up for that, and then hopefully nationals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
Let's go.
crossed.
Yeah, make it really good last year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you're thinking ahead, like, are you thinking open, masters? What kind of stuff are you thinking for adult leagues?
I'm also rolling off currently for the Open and Masters. The next couple sets for the Masters aren't till February, but we have our open like zones, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you did the
like,
ladies team roll off, right?
yeah, and so I didn't make that ladies team, but that no big deal. It's fine. But I'm currently hopefully with 2 sets left to bowl. Hopefully, I get the chance to bowl on team with my own mom. So
Oh, that would be
I
exciting.
think that would be a good experience.
Yeah.
But I'm rolling both open and masters as well.
That's awesome. So already like getting your foot in that adult world.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Amy, what do you like? Obviously you've come out here, TPC, and then Manitoba, but Manitoba was big for you. Any big kind of takeaways from that event in terms of like your mindset, maybe what you would try to continue to work on for some of the upcoming events that you have?
Definitely keeping my positivity up, because I'm one that I get like one bad thing happens and I can get negative so quickly. But I think it's one of the things I need to work on is just keeping myself up and positive. Like especially throughout like a 8-game set where you have your highs and lows.
Right.
So I think that is one thing, my biggest takeaway, I think, for that.
We're constantly talking about positivity on this podcast and like believe in yourself, and it's sometimes harder to do once you get on the lanes, but like keep pushing yourself for that, because you got like a long runway ahead of you, right? This under 20 young female group that's coming up, like it's just unbelievable. This, under
talent.
under the age of 20, like it's just incredible. So yeah.
When you were looking at your Sunday, like, did your mindset kind of change? Did you think a little bit more about how big of a deal it was playing on a Sunday as opposed to just a qualifying shift? Like, did you kind of prepare yourself for that?
Well, after like the last shift and we got like all the final stats, I looked at it and I was kind of like, I'm actually bowling tomorrow. I'm not sitting back and watching tomorrow. I'm bowling. So I was like, I definitely needed to be like, oh, switch into that kind of mindset. Like I'm in this now. Like I'm
Yeah.
in the money basically.
Yeah. And that's
So
hard to do sometimes when you're there
Yeah.
and you're hanging out with all your friends and you've been sitting for a while because you played a different shift earlier in the tournament and you have to kind of
Yep.
reel it back in a little bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I bowled Friday morning, and that was I bowled my shift Friday morning, and then I bowled Baker's Friday night, and then nothing Saturday. So I was just sitting back watching Friday afternoon,
Hanging
Saturday
out.
morning, Saturday afternoon, and I was like, definitely needed to get myself back in the mindset of I need to bowl.
It's a
I need to bowl.
beautiful space to be in when you don't have to play on the Saturday. But again, it's a bit of a hurdle as well, right? So it was interesting that you were thinking about that and that you had a little bit of determination, right, going into it. Amy, do you still lean on a lot of coaching, or are you starting to separate yourself a little bit from, having a true coach? Because that evolution happens. It never really goes away, but it's just in terms of like your age and 1 year left, to be interesting to see your thoughts on like ongoing coaching.
Well, like I love having a coach with me, and I love having just someone with me that, because sometimes I'm too stubborn. So, but like if I know what I'm doing wrong, I can fix it. But like sometimes I just need to hear it from somebody else.
Right.
So I'm a little bit in between of wanting a coach and
Letting them go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's part of it, right? It happens for all of us. But so who are those people for you? Person, people?
Well, like people who I would like to have like behind me if I needed.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, like I have my parents, obviously. Art Wells has coached a lot of my success. On the Sunday, I had Katie behind me. Who else? I can't think. Oh, at TBC with Michaela behind me,
Mm-hmm.
like just my friends, like my close group of people that I
Mm-hmm.
have. Any of them really help me out a lot, just because I know that that's the positivity behind me
Right.
when I need it.
And that support system.
Yeah.
One thing I was wondering, so you have a really solid group of ladies in Newfoundland. Is there certain ones that you've kind of been watching for years that you've looked up to, or players around the country that you're like, just take little bits from as you go?
Well, I love Megan Gallicano. She's just an amazing person to talk to. She's also one person I'd love having behind me and bowling with. Jen Baker, when she was here, I
Mm-hmm.
watched her a lot. And then we have like Katie and Courtney, Lucas, and I've always looked up to, oh my God, I cannot think of names right now.
We're putting you on the spot.
I had Karen Armstrong and Sandy Anderson behind me at Manitoba as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Amazing.
like those ladies, any like all the ladies that my mom bowled against too. Like I know their names, and I'm like, wow. Like, like I've just looked up to a lot of the ladies around the country.
I think it helps to have those people, women in your life, like ongoing, because it helps you realize like your drive. And obviously, Amy, you're committed to the sport, right? Like coming out here, it's going to be fun to watch you in the next decade.
Thank you.
So, what are the goals for the rest of the season, or for the rest of as you move forward in bowling? I guess it doesn't have to be like a season goal, but
I would say with the season right now is I want to make A nationals, whether it be I want to make YBC, and then I want to make A nationals on the adult side. I don't care if it's in win or if it's open or masters. I just want to make one of them. That's my goal.
right.
but I also really, really want to make the cut at Diamond Ladies.
It's a good goal.
And I'm very excited to go out there. So I think it's definitely doable.
For sure.
I just need to go out. I just need to go out and do it.
Yeah. That's a good attitude to have, right? Anybody can be beaten on any day, and anybody can go and be the absolute best on any day. So
yeah.
Yep. Amazing. Well, thank you for joining us tonight and kind of going through your first cut with us. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Have an amazing rest of your bowling season.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you for having me on.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Len said it best. Like, Newfoundland has some unbelievable players and a ton of talent coming up. Like, their young group of like 19 to 25-year-olds is just wildly good.
I mean, everything that Newfoundland is doing right now in terms of the sport, like that also has helped. They have been very committed, right, to the continued growth, specifically for the youth.
Yeah.
It's going to be really interesting to see if they continue on that same like pace. Like,
yeah,
I think they're just going to continue to have a lot of success.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that they've invested so much time into like their bowling school and just having, bringing in coaches, having their coaches that are there because they have such an abundance of knowledge there as well. They're just really developing the program, and it shows as they're like coming out of
tour events as well, right? And the participation around that and these little pop-up events they're having, it's just fun. It's obviously fun to watch, but also good for our sport.
For sure. All right, we are going to move a little bit over and go kind of to some of our hometown people from the Manitoba. I keep saying Winnipeg Open, but Manitoba Open.
We just struggle with the whole Manitoba thing, hey?
A little bit, yeah. Northern Manitoba and
northern,
I forgot about that.
Oh, I just reminded you.
Yeah, here it is. It's back. All right, we're going to bring in our next guest here. Hey, Jessica, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys?
Oh, sound. We need you to speak up maybe a little bit. See if
I can adjust the mic volume here. I should be able to bring it up here a little bit. There we go. All right. So welcome. Thank you for joining us today. Congratulations on making the cut.
Thank you. It was, surprising.
Jessica, 278.5 average. just over 2,200 to qualify. That's amazing bowling.
Yeah, it was definitely felt good.
Love that when that happens, right?
It just felt good. That's the only way I can explain it.
That's awesome. Have you had like an average like that in an 8-game qualifier before?
I'm going to say no. I don't think so. I think this was my highest 8-game.
That's a big score, right? You should be really proud of yourself.
Yeah, I'm not one to watch the scores or other people or the leaderboard or anything like that. So I know when I'm bowling good, I'm bowling well, or I'm not, and I knew I was bowling well, but I was just like, I'm just bowling well. And then to walk over at the end and look, and I was like, wow,
I bowled really well.
It was really awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
I was definitely surprised.
Yeah. So going back in time a little bit, you're coming off of a national gold medal at Masters on the Manitoba ladies tournament team. How was that?
Yeah. That was unbelievable, actually. It felt amazing to be with those ladies. Like, as soon as that team was formed, we all said, like, this is magic. There's something here. And even throughout practice, like, we just knew it was going to be good. And then, in the midst of it, it it was unbelievable. It still is.
I mean,
to
that
think about it.
team, we've interviewed, portions of that team before we had them on the podcast, and it did sound special. It sounded like really supportive, unconditional, that you guys had each other's backs. Like it just all kind of fell into place, and you may never experience that again, or maybe you will, but like those are rare to have teams like that
Right.
click so uniquely nicely, right? So that's awesome.
Exactly. Like nobody, even if we're like somebody was bowling not well, they came off the lane and we're right back at it, cheering on whoever was next. Like you had, by the end of the day, I know like Jana and I roomed together. We would look at each other. How did you bowl? Because it was a team. We were in it for the team. We were not in it for our own. Yeah, like it was fun. We were having fun, and it was unbelievable.
So just remind me, I'm going to try and think about who was on that team, but it was yourself, it was Alyssa, it was Jana, Karen,
and Brooke.
And Sandy was the coach?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes.
That's awesome. So kind of shifting gears now to WCBT. First cut, right?
First ever WCBT tournament.
Yeah, that's incredible for it to be like the first event you've ever come to, and then to make the cut and finish third in qualifying.
Yeah. I definitely, it was a big decision. I wasn't even gonna do it at first, and then I had a talk with my husband and just, you know what, I think this is the time. Like, it's here, why not get my feet wet and just kind of get a feel for it. And I got a feel for it.
And you got the feel for it for sure.
I came.
So what was kind of going through your mind either way?
From Regina. I didn't really, like, going into it, I didn't really have anything in my mind about it. I wanted to go in, I wanted to bowl well, and just kind of see how it goes. I didn't even really, I didn't look far into it to even know what the format was. I knew it was 8 games. Okay, I'm going in and bowling 8 games. That was it. And so, I had a great lane draw with some amazing people, Holly Chakowski, Jesse Leet. It was great. We all were behind each other as well. So it was really good feeling. We were all there. And then after, I remember looking at, who was it? Kyle Young. I was like, okay, what happens next? What do I do? Because I have no idea.
Where do I go from here?
What an experience.
It was it's definitely nerve-wracking.
I mean, you might have a lot of memories about that weekend, but do you have one that just shines, a moment that shines in the weekend?
Actually, it was probably being able to be there, because for those finals and watching like Alyssa and Brooke go at it and be there and cheering them on and seeing their fight, it really made me see some stuff that I really want to practice and get better at. That my focus, and just being able to do that, it was really awesome to watch.
Now, Jess, I don't know you very well, but I'd love to know more about you. So, like, how long have you been bowling? Like, are you from Winnipeg? Like, I just want some nuggets.
For sure. I am from Winnipeg. I've been bowling since I was 3. I've taken 4 years off just with my kids. I know YBC, I made it to 1 provincials. And so coming out of that, I just bowled my, fun leagues. I worked at a bowling alley here as well. So I got to see other tournaments, and then I finally made the decision to try it out. And then that's how I got into Masters.
So you're playing league. Are you playing league?
I am. I bowl in the Friday night league here at St. James.
Awesome.
and that's the only one I bowl.
Does your husband bowl, or like, I don't know the age of your kids, but are they bowling yet?
No, not yet. We're pretty busy on the weekends right now, but I definitely want to look at getting them into it next year. I also have a little guy that has cerebral palsy, so I want to see if we can get him in there as well. And so,
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's definitely on the books for next year.
Nice. So one of the things I know that came up last week when the guys were trying to come up with some wheel questions and things, somebody mentioned like wanting to hear from some of those players who are having that success, making cuts, going and winning national titles, but also have that like home life, kids, mom role. Like, how are you balancing that? How are you prioritizing? What events do I go to? What am I at home? That kind of thing.
Right, and that's the biggest one. Like, I would definitely want to play in more of these tournaments and the cash tournaments and the Diamond Ladies and stuff like that. But a lot of the time, it's just not feasible.
It's hard with little ones.
I'm
Yeah.
a stay-at-home mom, so I got to be home, and so Masters is easier to work around. Is on the weekend. My husband's most likely home. Friday nights is it's guaranteed. We're like, that's okay. Yeah,
That's your time. Yeah.
But then if there's any other tournaments, we kind of talk about it, and we have some help that we can definitely use when it's
like
time.
lean on. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
is open part of what you'll play, try and qualify for, or just strictly
so.
Masters?
It's for right now, it's strictly Masters. I've never bowled the Open. It's definitely something that I would want to do, but I don't think I'm ready yet. Maybe once the kids are a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Being away for Masters, that was the first time I was away from them for nationals, and it was hard. It was a hard time, but it was great to be able to do that. So I think we'll stick with Masters for right now.
Masters in Winnipeg this year, right?
Yes.
So
which makes it
even.
Yeah. How was it making a cut? Like, so with WCBT, this one was in your hometown?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. How was that? Like, you have all your people there. Did your husband get to come and watch with the kids at all?
He didn't. He had to go pick up our kids. But it was still awesome. Like, we had Karen was there, Sandy was there. I ended up bowling, like I said, with Holly, and on Sunday I was with Brooke. So that was awesome because we bowl on Fridays together, and then to have her there as well, we were cheering each other on to bowl again with Derek Orn, who just moved away this past year.
Right.
So it was nice to have the people around us, and those people backing us behind too was awesome.
Yeah. I love hearing people's takeaways from tournaments. Like, I know we ask that to almost everybody who comes on, but like, do you have any like big takeaways or lessons that you kind of can implement into your game moving forward?
I actually was coming off of a really, really bad Masters tournament. So this really did show me that I have it. Like, I can do this. It's all about mindset. Positivity is my biggest thing coming back after my 3 years away. It's bowling. It's whatever's on the lanes is on the lanes. You come off and you do what you can. But I think definitely watching everybody bowl and just seeing not only the focus but their fight was a big takeaway for me. I like to have my fun, but I want to be more focused and zero in on my goal at the end of that as well.
Right. That's a great just perspective to have on it, because there is so many people at those events that you can just see them dial it in and just, I need to shoot 850 for the last 3. Okay. And then you can just see that switch turn on, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I saw it we see it all the time with Alyssa and then Brooke as well. And so it was really amazing to see it. And it was great.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations again on a phenomenal tournament. 22-28 is a remarkable score. You should be very, very proud of yourself.
Thank you, guys.
Keep hanging out with those Manitoba women, right? They're strong.
Yes.
They are, yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck in the rest of the season and Masters qualifying, and hopefully we'll see you at Nationals.
Yes. Well, you'll probably see me no matter what, but yes.
Fair.
Thank you so
I guess
much.
we have to make it there too, but all right. Take care.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hey, bye, Jess.
Amazing. I didn't realize it was her first cash tournament with the WCBT. Like, I knew it was first cut, but I didn't realize it was like the first qualifying shift that like she's thrown. That's 100% success rate.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's incredible, right? And like what that does just for your mental uplift, I guess you could say, like what's going to happen for her. She's coming off of like pretty two wild things. Masters gold is not easily attainable. They did it. 22-28 is a massive score, right? Yeah. So she keeps working on her game, and obviously she's got some things that she needs to, shuffle around with a family and everything. But yeah, good asset for Manitoba for sure.
Yeah. Just checking in on Alyssa here. I see she's in the background, but her camera's not on, so I'm not 100% sure she's there. So we'll just check in. Oh, not quite. Okay.
You're pulling Carrie.
Yeah, I am pulling. Well, I haven't pressed any buttons yet, so I'm not.
Okay, so it's not.
It's not quite there.
Yeah.
My brain's a little misfunctioning, but that's it.
To be fair, Katie, you're at school and you did have your kids' Christmas concert tonight, so you're juggling a little bit today.
Yeah, we definitely had to. My kids were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Go worry about yourself. I have a job to do." Alyssa just texted me that she has a new computer and she can't figure out how to turn the camera on.
Oh, okay. So no worries.
We're figuring it out here. We're figuring it out. There may be a setting feature, Alyssa, that
you would need to turn on.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we could even bring in, while she's working to figure that out, we had someone who was there supporting Alyssa nonstop in that Sunday that we're going to just pull in early, and then
I love that.
We'll roll with it. So
yeah.
We're going to bring her in here. Hey, Chantel.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good, good. Yes.
You had lead tonight. You look awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God.
Well, okay, so you had league tonight, and we were hoping that you could make it in time. So thank you and actually this is working out awesome because Alyssa's having a little computer challenges tonight. So when Kate, she's good. She's good. Yeah, we can bring her in. And then
no, she's not good. Never mind. She's not good. Keep going.
Well, one of the things that Katie and I, we do like a little 15-minute connect before we kind of know what the podcast is going to look like. And I wasn't at Manitoba Open, but I definitely watched a lot, of course. And I'm always rooting for the females who are playing. So what I did notice is that when Alyssa was playing, I noticed that you were like in the pit with her. You were right down. I couldn't see how much support she had, but I could tell that she had a lot of, like, you specifically. Mode was there. Like, I couldn't see beyond that. But I thought to Katie, I said, we've got to try and get her on because it was really interesting to me. It was so striking. It was probably the most female empowerment in the sport that, I mean, we're constantly seeking it, but you could visually see it on the live stream, which was amazing. Tell me about like all of that and why that was so important for you to be like right down there with her. And I know there's other women who are supporting her as well, but you just happen to be on camera.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Not that I wanted to, but hey, it is what it is. I don't really know why, but what I can say is that like, competing against the guys like sometimes can be very intimidating, right? And I wanted her like to know that I had her back 100% no matter what. like we have to encourage each other, and we have to like let them know, like every lady, that they can do it. They as well have the support of all like the like lady like community, what we
Yeah.
like call it. And I thought it was very important, and like
Yeah.
to show her that yes, I was there for her.
Yeah. I thought it was just really incredible, especially because like you also had a fantastic tournament. You made the cut, you qualified 30th overall, average 262. Sunday finals obviously didn't quite go your way, but instead of going and sulking or going and just kind of removing yourself, you chose to take the energy and put it onto someone else and try to help someone else as well.
Yep.
So we can even bring her in as well and have a conversation together for a little bit.
Yeah,
So
let's do that.
here's Miss Alyssa, picture and
Hey
all.
guys.
Look how crystal clear she looks with that new computer.
Yeah, I apparently I had to hit F10 and then my camera worked. I don't know, but anyways, it worked now.
You're here. So we
Yes,
were just
I'm
talking with Chantel. I mean, first of all, congratulations. Another fantastic event, qualifying 8th overall, making it into the Sunday finals, and then running all the way to the fours.
Thank you. And I'm a WCBT member this year, ladies. I took your advice from last season.
Look at that. We're
Right?
making
It
changes,
matters.
Tracy.
I know.
And
Yeah.
currently, potentially could be one of the first females to compete in the tour finals if the season continues the way it's going.
Yes.
So
that would be definitely very exciting. That would be like the ultimate goal. I've been playing the cash tours since I was like 16, and then they made the WCBT. This is my first year as a member in this whole entire time. So yeah, that would be a pretty cool accomplishment. I mean, obviously not getting too ahead of myself here, but I do have a wedding and a school program to finish and all the other things. So we'll see. I do plan on still making Regina, but then after that, I'm not really sure where else we're going to get to. But yeah, it would be very cool for sure if that happened.
So here's a lesson to all the ladies who have not made themselves a tour member yet. You can be in the top 12. You could be the next Alyssa Campbell. So we were just chatting with Chantel about, we noticed on the live stream on Sunday, especially during your match in the fours, that we could see her right there on camera. Every shot, she was like, it was like she was throwing the balls with you. How was that, having that support system behind you?
Honestly, it was super great. Like, I don't know if I actually thank Chantel personally for that. I think I might have. I don't remember. It's so many emotions. So I definitely meant to if I didn't. But yeah, it was just super nice, like having someone that felt like they were in the pit with you at that point. I mean, obviously, like I always have Dwayne in my corner and his whole family was there, which was amazing too. But like to have that one person that was right at the, like right in the pit, right as you were coming off the lane, just whatever. I think there was a joke where she'd like smack my ass if I threw a bad ball and stuff like that. And you know, it just kind of takes a little bit of that like pressure off. I mean, you go on the lane and you're so tense and you're so like, hey, like we got to throw the shot here. This is what keeps the game alive, or this is what makes it like one more frame until it's actually over, or whatever it is. And it just reminds you to take that breath and relax for a second, have a little laugh. And you know, it's so exhausting, like holding yourself mentally together for such a long period of time, but you are allowed to let it go. And so that was just a really good reminder, and having those conversations too of when those like thoughts of self-doubt start creeping in sometimes. You know, you've bowled all these games, you're getting tired, you probably should have eaten like 3 games ago, and like all these things are kind of creeping forward. It's just definitely nice to have someone there to even fill up your water bottle, you know, grab you a salad, whatever it is. So yeah, no, I really appreciated that for sure.
What I saw and why I wanted to like talk about this is, you know, Dwayne was pacing. This is what I saw, like, you know, live streaming, he's pacing. Chantel was swaying. Like you wouldn't have seen any of this unless maybe you go back and you've watched it, or you know, you watch it multiple times. But it's really interesting to see what was happening around you. You were eating, you were having something to eat. Against Matt. So that's that hunger thing that you probably were talking about, you know, during that time. But I think it's really interesting, two individuals, and I know you had a lot of crowd behind you, but you've got one who is from Quebec and one who's from Manitoba. And so what I'm talking about is this like pure friendship that is starting to happen within our bowling community and how we're supporting each other. It was like really like a lot of, you could see the love on the live stream. And that's pretty remarkable, Alyssa. Yeah.
Mhm.
Of course.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely something I'm super grateful for. I mean, like especially playing more and more of these cash tournaments and stuff, like getting to know these people on a different level and like getting to hang out with them outside of the bowling world and like just having these relationships. I think like especially in women's sport, it can be so petty and it can be so competitive and it can be so me versus you instead of like, man, I want you to win this just as bad as I want to win this type thing. And so I
Exactly.
think like back to what Chantel said earlier, it's just like really important to know that like we have each other's backs and things. I'd actually had a conversation with Brooke. I think she had texted me a couple of days after the tournament and just had kind of thanked me and Dwayne for being in her corner the whole weekend and stuff like that. And I said, I think it's very rare that you find like women in your competitive sport where like they want you to win just as bad as they do. And like to be in your corner and like that only genuine of like lifting each other up. And I think that's something that like we're making a transition towards. And like just in the bowling community in general too, right now that there's more and more women competing like in these WCBT or in like just cash tournaments in general. Like why can't we? Right. And I think like at the end of the day, that's kind of like making that shift because there's more and more of us like continuing to compete. So I think that's really great.
Right. Chantel, like I don't want to put words in your mouth, but your body language and like just how you were in the pit, it was almost, to me, it seemed like a win for Alyssa was like a win for you, a win for the ladies, right? Like it's been so long since the ladies won one of the cash tournaments. I mean, we could go back. I think Jen Baker was probably the last one that's won an event in Red Deer, but that was years
like
ago.
2017, maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Wow.
So like,
Okay.
is that kind of where your mindset was at? Like if Alyssa could pull this off or if Brooke could pull this off, they're both in the fours. We have a 50% chance kind of at this point. It's a win for the ladies.
The ladies, absolutely. And it's like I mentioned earlier, like sometimes it can get intimidating bowling against the guys, but we can be as intimidating as them. And Alyssa in Gatineau, we call her the rocket launcher. Her ball is so powerful that it explodes. And I mean, it's so love all around for all ladies.
Yeah.
Well, and like even want to talk about the transition in the sport because I always felt like the men can be intimidating and we're learning from that. And that's important as we get exposure by playing these events because if we played like an open or we play a masters, we play against women, right? Yes. And this is one of those times where we're competing against men and it's like basically like we're all on an equal playing field and we should be proud that we can even compete at that level, even though I know Diamond Ladies Classic is like focused for like a female only event, which I also think is like incredible. But I see a transition as well with the men supporting women more than ever before. Like it just seen that happen by default as the sport's grown, as some of these tour events across the country are starting to be implemented. And I think it's like it's a powerhouse because we continue to learn from each other and hopefully they learn from us as well, right? In terms of how we maybe focus a little bit differently on the game because we don't all tick the same way. None of us tick the same way, right? I look at Matt Harms, he's fierce. And the way he approaches his game is a lot different than maybe someone who is a little bit more, has a more aggressive nature, right? In turn, or fierceness on the lanes, right? Like a Bradley
Tick. Outward fierceness as opposed to that.
Yeah. And there's all different levels. And we have that in females as well. So anyways, it's just incredibly interesting to watch what's happening the last couple of years since we've been back from COVID.
True.
Alyssa, was this one different being at home?
Like, yes and no. I think that there's like a level of comfortability. I mean, I'm not playing in the St. James Friday League this year because I'm going back to school, so I chose to not play. So I hadn't actually played at St. James, I think, in like 2 weeks prior to that. Actually, I think we had like a fun tournament or something, but I didn't play very well. And so I laughed because I do find that I struggle at St. James sometimes, and that I have those same thoughts of like frustration of like, oh, that should have went and it didn't go and things like that. But then I looked at the last 3 tournaments now of the Manitoba Open, the one before they were with the WCBT and the last 2, and I've shot basically the same score within 10 pins all 3 years. So there's certain like obviously a certain level of comfortability that comes with that, and I don't know if it's like that this is my house, so like I'm confident here, or I don't know what it is, but obviously it always feels good to do something like that in a local center where you feel like you've practiced on here a million times, so why can't today be your day type thing. Yeah, the qualifying shift, doing it in one shift again was also ultimately like how you want to draw it up. But yeah, then running to the 4s, there was a point, I think I was like in the 16s, and just the way I was throwing the ball and the confidence that I had, I was like, why can't I go farther? I think I like ran out of gas at the end, and every match kind of came down to those last couple frames. So never having to like give up that fight and like fighting right until the very end was a really cool thing too. But having all the local support of like Dwayne's entire family was there, and like obviously we're really good friends with the Devinnys, and like they were all in my corner too. And yeah, it was just pretty crazy, pretty surreal for sure.
I think it's normal. Like, do you like to eat when you're bowling, Alyssa? Or was it just one of those things you're just in the moment and then you maybe forgot to fuel?
Yeah, so I generally do try to eat when I'm bowling. I know adrenaline really plays a factor in whether I feel hungry or not. And then you start feeling yourself deplete and you're like, uh-oh, I probably should have eaten a few games ago type thing. But yeah, I think it's just like that adrenaline starts coming down. You realize that like your feet hurt and your back is really stiff and your shoulders sore, and all of that stuff kind of creeps in all at the same time on top of, hey, maybe you should eat because you haven't eaten in the last 4 hours type thing. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm getting better at that at Masters. I was like on the verge of passing out before I did that, so I'm making progress.
Bowling alley is one of those like time vortexes also. Like you can just be in a bowling alley and all of a sudden the day is gone and you're like, oh, whoops.
No wonder I'm starting.
It's 7 p.m. I've been here since 9 a.m. Have I eaten or drank anything today? I don't know.
But we seem to be able to fuel with beer, no problem, right? Or
yes. Yes.
So
that I agree.
I want to learn from your day on Sunday. I'm sure there's lots to learn, but like, did you have moments, Alyssa, where you just felt like I'm not getting beaten today? I'm not getting beaten in this match? Or did you have an ebb and flow in terms of your mindset when you were approaching some of those different games?
Honestly, like I felt the confidence until the very end, even like going into frames 9 and 10 against Matt, like I knew that I needed to do something to throw at him to give it an opportunity to go farther and then make him have to make the shot type thing. I ended up opening 9 and then punching in 10 to lose it basically. But even like going up there with those shots, like I had all the confidence in the world that I could make the shot. I think my body physically at that point just like was not at that same level of comprehension of, hey, my brain's telling you to do something, now you need to execute it. I think I lost that a little bit near the end, which is where the inconsistency came from. But up until that point, like this is why I love like the match play of the 3-game matches, because I always find that I come like out of the gate a little bit slow, and then as that second game, that third game coming into the final frames come, like you guys were talking about how like you see those players and they just kind of flick that switch. Like that's literally when my brain says, hey, you need to dial in, it's do or die. And I don't know why I like leave it till that point or like make myself
Make it
go through that
interesting.
stress. Yeah, exactly. But like always the first couple of frames, I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm getting in the groove. And I don't know if it's just me getting used to like the new player that I'm playing or what it is, like the new set of lanes. I'm not sure. Coming off a break, settling in and things like that. But yeah, I definitely like in that next little bit, I just had all the confidence in the world. And at the end of the day, you just have to make the shot because it's all you have control over is what you do. And then whether they make it or not is up to them. So it worked out in my favor a few more times than it has in the past. But yeah, that was super exciting for sure.
I love that comment. You just have to make the shot. Where did that come from? Is that just something that you've been kind of teaching yourself, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna give Dwayne credit for that one. Yeah, we obviously talk about bowling a lot and we have a lot of these conversations, and he's made a huge impact on my my mental game and my confidence, and even when you're physically struggling, like how to get back mentally to that strength. And yeah, he's really helped with, you can't control what the other person is doing. So if you want to put the pressure on them and you want to give yourself the opportunity, then you do what you can control, and we'll see if they match you.
Yeah.
You have a lot on your plate. So you've mentioned going back to school. Maybe tell us a little bit about that. I wasn't aware that you were going back to school, but I definitely know that you've got some big moments coming up here for the wedding.
Yeah. So I'm taking an accelerated program through the Manual Osteopathic College of Canada to be a manual osteopath. It's 13 months. I started in October, so I go beginning of October to end of October 2024. I'll have a second registration number to be able to bill with benefits, so that'll kind of be in addition to my massage. But yeah, just decided to throw that on top of going on with me. So
isn't it? You're like Katie. Like Katie's taken on a lot on her plate as well, right? But maybe that's what just makes you girls tick.
We're ambitious women. Yes,
love that. Yeah,
that's right. We are.
Yeah, the closest campus to Winnipeg that this program offers is actually in Regina. So I'm driving to Regina once a month to go take my in-class.
Wow.
Shout out to the Brooks family for hosting me every time I'm out there. They've been amazing. But yeah, so once a month in Regina, trying to play tournaments, trying to, still get at the lanes when I can. Planning a wedding. Air Canada vacations is the worst. And yeah, here we are.
Plug.
Yeah. So moving into the rest of the season, Chantel, are we seeing you at any more cash events out west here?
No, I wish I could, but I have Club Tour in January and I have Timmins in February, and the flights from Ottawa are like $800 to go to Regina. It is absolutely so expensive. It is crazy. So, but I wish I could, but I can't.
Yeah. So, but still doing some tournaments, still doing some cash events, just not with the WCBT, with the other tours that we have in the country.
Yes, exactly. And I'm monitoring flights for the Ladies Diamond. But again, it's the flights that kill. Like, that's what it is.
So true, right? Yeah.
Make sure you check on Boxing Day.
I will. There's this app called Hopper, I think. It monitors all like the flights. So when it says like buy, that's what we're gonna say buy now.
You're like bye.
Bye. So yeah, so we'll see. Like, I mean, you never know. Maybe I'll just show up.
Yeah. And Alyssa, you said Regina.
Yes. We will be
and then you don't know past there?
Regina. Yeah. I am doing Diamond Ladies as well. That one, I had to book a multi-way flight to go to Regina, Calgary, and then back to Winnipeg that weekend. So I'm coming for the Diamond Ladies as well. And then, beyond that, I'm not really sure how everything's going to transpire. I mean, I would obviously love to make it out to Heritage. That one's always a good one. But yeah, we'll have to check flights. Flights to Edmonton from here are ridiculous right now. The budget airlines stopped flying temporarily. So now it's just WestJet, Air Canada, and it's pretty atrocious. My parents were looking to come out here first weekend in January, and it was like $1,400 for the both of them. So they're Like they're unfortunately not going to end up making it, but that's a ridiculous amount of money for a 2-hour flight. So,
For sure.
so yeah, we'll see what that looks like in the coming months. But yeah, just got to make it through the next 3, and then we'll kind of play it by ear after that.
There's Quebec Classic as well. You
Amazing.
can always come down.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be playing tournaments as they pop up, I'm sure. But
Lots to look forward to, right? With Masters and the Open. Wishing you ladies all the best. Hope that you have a really nice holiday break with your family and friends.
Same to
And
you.
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Yeah, you bet. See ya.
Bye, ladies.
Oh, she left the stream and then I threw someone in. Oops, there we go. There's my Carrie moment of the night. All right.
Wow.
We are at our little holiday wrap up of the season.
Let's do it.
We can bring in, we have 3 out of the 4 of our special guests. One just texted me that he's working on an internet problem. He may or may not be able to join us.
Okay.
We'll bring in the other 3 and we can bring him in if he comes in after. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it
Welcome.
going?
So I know the internet problem is Derek.
The internet problem is Derek. We also have Michaela and
Hi,
Renee
Michaela.
joining us with Scott.
Hi.
So thank you guys for just like reaching out to our call out on Facebook of who wanted to come join us for a little holiday cheer. It's nothing wild and crazy. You don't have to worry, but you are going up against a holiday wheel. So
What's a podcast without a wheel?
what's a podcast without a wheel? Scott's been like looking for a podcast to get on for ages, and
He
you're
volunteered
welcome.
pretty quickly, no?
Listen,
He's
I got nothing better to do on a Wednesday night.
Thank you for being with us.
already hanging out anyway. So I'm gonna bring in our wheel and like look at the Christmas magic that is happening in this wheel right now.
It's so magical.
So, I think Derek is.
See if Tyler
Maybe
can
here.
beat this theme.
Yeah, Tyler, your wheels have nothing on mine at this point. So
This is pretty festive.
it is.
Agreed.
It's pretty festive. Derek is here as well, so we'll bring him in. We were just giving everybody the rundown that we're coming up against the holiday wheel. So everything on there is holiday themed questions. We'll spin the wheel and go from there.
Can you hear me or no?
Oh yeah, clearly.
can hear
Actually,
you,
I hear you
yeah.
really well.
What would your elf name be?
Okay.
Appropriate because this is the ladies podcast. Scott, that's you. What would your elf name be, Scott?
I have no idea. Probably, I don't know.
We need a elf name generator.
I'll find one while we're doing this.
I mean,
Does anybody have an idea of what theirs would be?
No, absolutely not.
we are just not creative at all.
Okay,
There's
we'll
gotta
spin the
be-
wheel. We're going to come back to that because I found a generator. So we'll spin the wheel
I
for people
do.
to
I'm like
answer
looking. I'm like,
questions.
okay, can we find this?
Yeah, I got it. Okay. we're gonna do
Usually it's
another
like your
spin here.
first letter of your first name.
Yeah, true. One word to describe the holidays.
Busy.
Happy.
Family.
Relaxing sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah, with a new baby, very,
When?
very busy.
When I'm not at work, it's relaxing. Other than that, not so much. It's just busy.
Sure.
I have the first two elf names, just for the record. Scott, your elf name is Tootsie Jinglebum. And
That's actually about right.
Seems fitting.
and Derek's is Cranberry Jinglebottom.
Nice, Derek.
I'll keep finding more.
Eh?
Don't worry.
I pulled up mine, Katie, from the Elf
Oh.
Generator. And mine is Frisbee Fairy Toes.
Oh, mine is Twinkle Curly Pants. Yeah, no wonder we couldn't come up with like an elf name for ourselves when these are like the elf names that come up. I'll pull up the other two, but I'm going to spin the wheel here. Spin it.
You should have music going during this. That would have really
I know.
worked, Tyler.
Yeah. Tell us about your tree. Artificial, real, lights that are colored, ornaments.
I was gonna say mine's behind me. I have the pre-lit ones because as a kid trying to untangle those, absolutely not. Like,
Fair.
no, thank you. The only ones that I actually have custom on my tree is like last year. I was 5.5 months pregnant with my daughter, and we didn't know if she was a girl yet because when we tried to go and get her measurements done, she was upside down with her legs crossed. So last year on December 23rd, we found out she was a girl. So we have it's a girl
Oh.
on the back of our trees, are like custom ones. So that was a good Christmas present because that was the last ultrasound we were going to have to try and look. So we were really hoping we were going to find out. So that was a good early Christmas gift last year.
That's so
Love that.
cute.
If I could take my laptop with me and show everyone, I have probably the most OCD household when it comes to Christmas.
Meaning
That's-
everything has a particular place. There's a
Oh,
color
yeah.
theme.
Got a 9-foot Christmas tree in the living room, all white, no color to it. About 100 blow-ups on the front lawn, and way too many gifts underneath the tree.
So do you love white because you're sitting in a white chair?
I don't pick the colors.
White
Got it.
background.
That's not his job.
Got it.
Michaela, what's your tree like?
It's we got like the artificial one with the lights and everything. Like I prefer just regular white Christmas lights. There's a house on our street actually, and we drive by it. Their house, like their tree in the window, drives me nuts because the top half of the tree is blue lights, the middle section of the tree is white lights, and then the bottom section is all multicolored lights, and it just drives my OCD up the wall. Not very traditional, but I like we did the real tree one year, and I found like cleaning up the pine needles, like I was like, never again. Artificial trees all the way.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you step on them, it's like stepping on Legos. It hurts.
Yeah. Derek?
Well, it's green and still in the forest. I go to Johnny's and Mark or Jen and Mark's for Christmas, so I don't usually set up a tree because they have.
Right. Fair. My family has been making fun of me this year because I got so far as putting up the tree and then putting the lights on it. And then because I sit there on the couch and I spend so much time of the holiday season moving ornaments around, I just didn't put any on. And so I just have lights. And they're like, are you going to put any ornaments on? No, because I just don't want to spend my time removing them when they're in holes that don't like fit where they're supposed to be. So
yeah, we just put ours up on Sunday. We have a real one, but we're kind of avoiding decorating it because we have a 6-month-old golden, and we're expecting him to go crazy after the Christmas balls. So we're putting that off and kind of put the nativity set out and see if he's trying to steal those little guys and run around the house with them. So
test the waters a little bit first.
Exactly. Yeah. He likes to pick things up. He's a golden retriever. So
fair. All right, I'm going to spin this again here. Eliminate that. Do you snoop for presents? Are you a snooper? Renee's like, no.
Nope. When I was a kid, if I snooped, the present went back.
Wow.
So I did it once, never did it again.
Yeah.
Growing up, we never had any gifts underneath the tree until Christmas morning. Now I live with 3 people that love to snoop. One has it down to a science where the blow dryer can come out can package it right back up together, and you wouldn't even know. Crazy part is she's been doing it for 37 years of her life.
Oh my gosh.
That's
awesome.
hilarious.
My parents growing up rotated their hiding spots, but like, yeah, everything didn't go under and wrapped until like, Christmas Eve at some point. But we found them one year, and yeah, they rotated it ever since. So,
The great part now is everyone online shops, so you just get it delivered to your work.
Fair. Yeah. My birthday's in February, and the one year I went snooping for my Christmas presents and found all these things that I was so excited for. And then Christmas morning came, and none of them were for Christmas. They were for my birthday. And I remember sitting there being like, did you forget one? And my mom's like, no, what are you talking about? And then, yeah, I didn't snoop after that. It was very disappointing Christmas morning when I was like, I know I'm getting these things. And then they weren't there. I'm like, oh, okay. Oops. I learned my lesson. It happens. Do we want to do one more?
Sure.
And then we can, oh, so close. All right. Last spin here. Who has tried a holiday baking recipe and failed?
No baking here.
last year we make baking trays for all of our family for Christmas, and I was trying to do the Christmas crack, and I grabbed the wrong type of chocolate, and just like everything like congealed into like one hard lump in the middle, and I couldn't get it to spread. And I was like, well, Philip enjoyed picking it apart for like a week eating it. He's like, it still tastes good. And I'm like, well, at least it's being eaten.
Yeah. I went to a holiday baking thing the other day, and I was trying to, I'm not a huge baker, but I was trying to make the little reindeer chocolates with the Rolo, and then you put, it's like a pretzel, and then you put the Rolo, and then you an M&M for the nose, and 2 mini M&Ms for the eyes, and then the little pretzels for the antlers. And on Pinterest, they look so simple, and they look so nice. And my friends were on the floor laughing at how deranged the reindeer looked, and so we failed. We did not make any more reindeer. They were just pretzels with Rolo at that point, because it was not a great look. It was not good.
Still delicious.
Sorry?
Still delicious.
Still delicious, he said.
They're still delicious.
Piecing that together.
Yeah, I don't know why the mic went all wonky on us, but does anybody have like anything they love to eat, like the Christmas treat that they're like, I gotta have this year?
Ginger snaps.
Really? Ginger snaps. Ooh. I came across these things called Lacy's. They're like lace cookies. You can buy them at Walmart, and they're called Lacy's. I'd highly recommend them. If you go to Walmart, just go through the baking session. And they're kind of like this, like lightly coated chocolate covered caramel kind of treat. They're like awesome. They're called Lacy's. Go to Walmart, check it out. Then tell me if you love them.
Anybody else?
I usually love Kinder Surprise. So I always get them in my stocking, and it's like one of those things that I have to, my mom will not go Christmas without buying them, because we don't do much baking. So
yeah,
it's like the one chocolate thing
that you love.
And I couldn't have them when I was in school because I couldn't get them over the border. So
oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Just
I
a Canadian thing.
I
Like
think they're actually now in the United States, because I was in Vegas.
Are they now? Because I know for the longest time you couldn't get them over the border.
We were surprised because we were in Walmart and we found Kinder Surprises in Walmart.
Oh, nice.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys for all joining us for a little holiday cheer. Hopefully you all have a fantastic holiday season and safe New Year's, and we'll see you guys all on the lanes in 2024.
You betcha. Merry Christmas.
Merry
All the best, you guys.
Merry Christmas.
Have a good New Year's, guys.
Thanks, guys. Cool. All right. Christmas show done.
I love this show.
I do too. It's just so light and like,
yeah.
just a jolly good time.
Well, Katie, thank you for all your planning for the
Yeah,
show.
of course.
Did
We have
another
our
great
next
planning segment.
We have our
so I
next
appreciate it.
podcast on January 17th. So we have a little bit of a break over the holidays, and hopefully we'll see everybody then.
Love it.
Have a fantastic vacation and time off from bowling, everybody, and we will see you in the new year.
Happy holidays, everyone.